Good? Fine. Did you say unmuted?
We're good.
Okay, cool. All right. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nancy Carr-Smith, President of Waimea Community Association. With us tonight are our board members, Michaela Bruno, Wave, Riley Smith, David Greenwell, Patty Cook, Mary Beth Lachak, Hannah Bree, and that's it. We've had some other people that have had to go do some other things. So thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. We welcome you. We want to mahalo Keck Observatories for allowing us to be here and want to give Ilihia an opportunity to say a few words.
Aloha me kakou.
Aloha.
Thank you everybody for joining us again for another great Waimea Community Association meeting here at Keck Observatory. So happy to have you all here in the Jerry Nelson Conference Room. You've been here before, you've heard this spiel, but the aina that we're on was a gift to our observatory from Richard Smart. And because of that, we take seriously our kuleana to open our doors and share it with the community every chance we can. So Waimea Community Association, county meetings, Councilmember Eustace has used our room in the past, so please join us again. Any community nonprofits, you guys need a space, please let us know. Want to introduce a couple members of our team real quick. We have our director, Rich Matsuda, in the house. Our chief financial officer, Margarita Scheffel. And from our budget team, Journey Evangelista. You haven't missed any other Keckies in the house? Okay, right on. So if anybody needs the lua, it's on the back side of this wall. So you can go out this door, take 2 rights, and you get there. I think that's it. Mahalo nui for being here.
Appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, we encourage you to become a member of Waimea Community Association. You can do this at the front desk with Riley and Patty. You can do it online at our website, which is on the agenda. And we are accepting memberships for 2026. It's $20 for an individual, $30 for a family. And we just started, by request, started a new category of organizations and businesses. And we have our first business member who recently joined, which is Hawaiʻi Lifeline. And thank you, Miles from Hawaiʻi Lifeline, for coming from the other side of the island to be here tonight. So other organizations, please join in. We appreciate it. All right, timer. David Greenwell right here is our timer. So those of you that are presenting, we'll keep an eye on him for all the parts before the mayor. Once we get to the mayor, we know it's just go for it. But we pride ourselves in staying on time. So please cooperate with that. Thank you. Our IT girls, Mary Beth and Michaela, thank you. In an effort to streamline our meetings a bit and free up these 2 women, we've decided to not stream our meetings. There's very few people that watch it during streaming, but we will be recording it and posting it after the fact. So we're going with that. And hopefully we'll see how it goes tonight and hopefully it works well. So thank you for your understanding. We have treats and water over here. Please help yourself. The bentos that are in the back are for the county guys. They're working and they drove a long way and it's dinner time. So we appreciate you coming in. So we wanted to provide you with that. So that's for you guys back there. Okay. Also over here where the treats are, Tutu's House newsletter, which has a lot of cool stuff going on there. Our save the date for the rest of the year is here, so you can plan your meetings. We have some good meetings coming up. And then this little guy is our next meeting, which is our candidate forum. Oh, look, it's upside down. Okay. Yeah, so our candidate forum is our next meeting, July 16th at Parker School at the Smart Center Gym, the Ching Gym, I think it's called. Clarence Ching Gym. So we'll be doing County Council District 1, County Council District 9, State Rep District 4, which is currently held by David Tarnas. That's his seat. And we've decided to add Lieutenant Governor. So there's 11 people running for Lieutenant Governor.
Wow.
Yeah, so we'll see how many of them are willing to come to Waimea. Hopefully at least half of those will come. So we look forward to seeing you then at our next meeting. And yeah, so thank you. For our opening pule, we continued the tradition of honoring different faith-based groups in our community. And tonight it's a pule and it's a remembrance of Sione Tellini, who died suddenly on the road. So with us tonight is Pastor Sunny Shimaoka. We'll do a pule and Bill will assist him as well afterwards. Is there any family members here?
I
No,
haven't seen it.
okay, okay. I understand.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you, Sunny.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bill.
yeah, they're still having the process, for you guys that don't know, Sione's, celebration of life is on June 20th. And it'll start the viewing at 9 o'clock. And, we have a pa'inas that's gonna be happening afterwards, on, our campus. Okay. I got 3 minutes, Nancy,
Yeah,
to pray.
and then, yeah,
How many do I have?
and then a couple more to talk about him. So however you want to spend 5 minutes.
Yeah, whenever you ask a preacher to pray, and I saw 3 minutes, I said, oh, wow. I was the former senior pastor at, New Hope, Waimea. And it seems like I'm back on the mound again for a little while until we find somebody. But I just got some distressing news. I just heard it. There was another fatal
Today.
on, yeah, okay. Well, that's great. Well, we just thank you for community. That's what we do as people. We watch and take care of one another. And I don't know the family that lost, family member, or husband, or I got no idea. But we pray, give us wisdom how to correct what's going on in Illinois. We thank you for this gathering. We ask for your will you lead us and guide us to be a more aware, a more community that has that sense of kuleana. And so we do welcome again your mana'o tonight. We thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for Waimea Community Association, the people that are the glue that keeps this community together. And so again, thank you for this time. And I say it's in Jesus' name. Amen. You're right. I'm gonna let you go and talk about your little bit stuff with.
Well, you know, I
You
almost,
need to introduce yourself.
my name is Bill Rennie. For those of you who haven't met me yet, and many of you I've met and don't remember your names, I apologize. Well, I was called here 2 years ago, and I came last September to support the New Hope family. And so Sione and I have been working together for about 10 months. And then the week that he was killed, just 5 days before that, my wife and I were rear-ended by a driver who was distracted and totaled our car up on Mamalahoa. We could see our driveway, and that's how close we were to home. And I don't know, I'm just shocked by all the accidents that we've had here. There were 3 deaths that week that Sione was killed, highway deaths here on the island. And then we were nearly killed by a driver who just wasn't paying attention. He hit us full force, no brakes. Same as the driver that hit Sione, except the one who hit Sione was intoxicated. So I just pray for protection from these careless drivers. 3 more people killed today, I think, up on
No,
only one, on Danny Clay.
Daniel, yeah.
Illinois, yeah. So,
Bill, can you share, of either of you,
I'll do
either, yeah, what it was like, for Sione to be training you, working with you, or Sunny when you, brought
Oh,
him
in my
into
case,
the-
I was training him,
Yes.
because I was kind of like
Yeah.
hoping that he would take over so I could retire
Yeah.
and play golf. And so now I have to adjust my schedule. But one of the things that I'm gonna miss about Sione, was his kindness. He had a gift of kindness. And most of the tributes was in the fact that, he's just helping people. He helped a lot of people. In fact, he was helping his grandson Vite, repairing his tire and, the front end of the car and all of that. That's what he was doing. He lived helping and he died helping. And that's what I will remember Sione most of all, was that his kindness and, his, passion to take care of people. He took care of his family. And, yeah, we just need to be praying for them. But when you got time to grieve, if you know your family member has cancer or whatever, and you get time to grieve, okay? They did not have time to grieve. For some of you that has been in that position, you kind of know. Yeah. But thank you guys for honoring our senior pastor. Yeah, again, June 20th is a celebration of life. Okay, mahalo.
well,
Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate you guys being here. I was hoping the family might be able to come and at least take this with them, but that's okay. I understand. Ilihia, do you mind taking this over there? Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, at this time, I'm going to turn the reins over to fellow board member Hannah Bree, and she'll do the rest of the introductions. Hannah?
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you all for being here this evening. Great turnout. Probably all for you, Mayor Alameda. We're grateful to also have members of the Waimea Police Station here tonight. Policing Officer Justin Caviting will give a community update. Officer De La Cruz, a traffic update, and then we have Lieutenant Tomoda here to introduce Waimea's new captain. Please come up.
Good evening, everybody. Mayor, thank you for being here. Deputy Chief in the back, thank you for being here. We have a couple of special announcements on behalf of HPD. The first being there's a new commander for South Koala, Captain Bobby Joe Sagan. Captain Sagan has over 20 years within the department. She began her career as a patrol officer in South Kohala. She also worked in the Criminal Intelligence Unit. She was promoted to detective in 2016, where she worked as a detective in Criminal Investigation Section and Juvenile Aid Section on the east side. She was promoted to lieutenant in 2021, where she worked in Quanah Patrol, Juvenile Aid Section on the west side, and most recently Records and Identification. Captain Sagan is also a graduate of the FBI National Academy. Please help me in welcoming Captain Sagan.
Hello, everyone, and don't mind me, I'm not a public speaking kind of person, but I'll get used to this. So anyways, I am Captain BJ Sagan. I go by BJ. I'm originally from Maui, and I'm very, very honored to serve as your guys' commander in South Kohala. I come from a family of people that taught me the value of hard work, come from a background of dairy farmers. So I understand you guys' animal issues and, I get it. But sorry, but anyways, it taught me hard work, and my experience in agriculture, education and policing has shaped my commitment to compassion, integrity, and the community. And I'm grateful to return to where I began my career in 2005. And I've always felt like this place was home. So my original my birthplace is Makua, Maui. So grew up on Haleakala Dairy. My grandfather was a manager. My parents were also managers. So I spent my entire life there until the dairy closed. So yeah, so anyways, that's me a little bit. If you guys have questions, please just, I'm very open to communication and talking to people. So, okay, thank you.
Oops. There you go. A little for tall guys. So I'll be doing the traffic report. I'll do it real quick. 565 citations were issued last month in May. There are 6 major traffic accidents, which means, again, severe damage or injuries. Unfortunately, as we all know, there was 1 fatality in the South Carolina district in May. The 2 leading citations in May was speeding citations and regulatory citations. Again, like safety checks, registrations, and more of the simpler kind of citations is regulatory. This is my last traffic report. Some of you guys might know that I'm actually at Waikoloa School and community policing, so I was doing kind of a double duty thing these last couple of years. So I'm going to introduce the 2 new community policing officers here to South Florida. So taking my place as a community policing officer is Michael Brown. And also new Officer Lewis, who was the school resource officer of Waimea, got recently promoted to Hamoku District as a sergeant, and his replacement, the new school resource officer, Officer Danes Guitan. So from here on out, I'll be handing this over to Officer Brown, and no more listening to my angelic voice, and you don't gotta give me the sign anymore. But thank you.
Hello, everybody. Before I get into the crime report, just a couple announcements. The Lions Club Father's Day is coming up in June, so the Lions Club reaching out for donations for their Father's Day pancake breakfast. So get in touch with them and go celebrate Father's Day with them. We did schedule another coffee with a cop, but we're gonna put a little twist on it. It's gonna be matcha with a cop at 2:00. It'll come out in our newsletter, which was just reviewed and finalized today. So right after this, I'm gonna go back to the station and send it out to all you guys. But in the month of May for 2026, South Florida District did have 5 assaults, 3 burglaries, 3 criminal property damage cases initiated. We did have 11 thefts, 2 vehicles broken into, and we did have 4 major incidents in South Florida District. But one last thing I want to leave you guys with, the major was just texting me. He wanted me to remind everybody to please drive safely. Please leave early if you have to. Plan ahead and just watch out for other motorists on the roadways. We were just out there today trying to slow people down. We did put up a speed board sign today. So, but yeah, Major Valero just wanted everybody to talk to your family, talk to your friends, and just, have them slow down on the roadways and be cognizant of other drivers. But that's all I have for you guys. Watch out for my newsletter. It's coming out. There's a lot of content in there from their day, a lot of events we covered last month. It's kind of long, but a lot of pictures. I like a lot of pictures. But there's a couple of cool videos in there. But thank you again for all your support, and this is gonna be our community policing team and our new captain here. Okay, thank you.
I didn't realize I need this. Okay. Next up, we have our nonprofit spotlight. Tonight it's on Malama Kai Foundation, and here to present on their behalf is Chris Hawkins. Malama Kai Foundation has become an important voice and partner in protecting and restoring Hawaiʻi Island's coastal and marine resources through education, stewardship, and community engagement. Under Chris's leadership, Malama Kai has continued expanding programs that connect people directly to the health and preservation of our reefs, fisheries, shorelines, and ocean ecosystems. We're very grateful to have you here tonight, Chris, and welcome.
It's so wonderful to be in front of you all tonight. I've been involved with this organization for about a decade now, and every chance I get to come in to talk about it and to explain how this is perhaps the most impactful conservation organization that you may have never heard of, I take that opportunity with relish. So for the next 6.5 minutes, I'm going to explain why we are the most impactful conservation organization you may never heard of. So next slide, please. Or maybe I can do it.
It's also over here.
Perfect. So we were established in 1991. There was a, trying to head back up here. How do we get back up?
You can control the slides, they can.
Okay, can we go back to the,
There you go.
one more, thanks.
There you go.
Thank you. So we have a great origin story. We were established in 1991 via some seed money from somebody you may have heard of, Jerry Garcia. There's actually a really neat and quick video on YouTube of him at the ledge testifying to establish the day use mooring buoy program for the state. And as the story goes, you know, he's an avid diver here on Hawaiʻi Island with Jack's Diving Locker in Kona. And he said, hey, what will it take to stop dropping anchors on the reef? And they said, well, like other places in the world, if we could have a system of mooring buoys to tie up to, boaters wouldn't have to do that. He said, what's it going to take? How about a little money for a nonprofit organization to work with the state? Thus, Malamakai Foundation was born. The founding board members, two of the founding board members are David Tarnas and his wife, Carolyn Stewart. Carolyn is still on the board to this day. She has recently stepped down as president. She is now the treasurer. She's been both the president and the treasurer for a long time. We're really well known for collaborating both with commercial and non-commercial folks, communities, and the operators. Tourism and tourist operators sometimes get a bad rap, but the folks that have been the bedrock of Malamakai Foundation and the Day Use Mooring Buoy program and other initiatives from Malamakai Foundation are actually tourism operators throughout the state. This is a statewide organization and statewide program. And we have board and staff on Hawaiʻi Island, on Maui, on Oahu, and we are looking for some more representation from Hawaii and Lanai. Next slide. As I said, we're really a partnership organization. We're looking to partner with any and all stakeholders, whether they're commercial, whether they're nonprofit, whether they're community. We're really well known for being a balanced organization when it comes to natural resource management and conservation. We're really not, in a lot of ways, we're not a preservation organization. We recognize that our kids and their kids are going to and want to use the resources, but we want those resources to be in the best condition possible for that to happen. We're really known for the following 4 programs and initiatives. So the first one, and I've kind of alluded to this, next slide, is the Day Use Mooring Buoy program. Established in 1991, there are now 223 day use mooring buoys across the state of Hawaii. And we've recently crunched the numbers, and we believe conservatively, they save an estimated 90,000 anchor drops on coral reefs every year in the state. It's hard to do anything, the folks in this room, when it comes to ocean acidification and global warming and the kinds of things that coral reefs are threatened with every day and every week here and around the world. But we can relatively straightforwardly save anchor drops on coral reefs. So we're really looking to expand this network by several hundred over the next few years. We've gotten some grant funding recently from the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation to do the necessary environmental impact analyses to make that happen and to work with the state. Next slide. Our Ridge to Reef program, some of you may have had children that have gone through this program. It used to be called Ocean Warriors. We've been going strong for about a decade now with grant funding from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. It's a middle school program to get the kids out on the landscape, out in the watershed and out to the coast, and to see how landscapes and watersheds are conserved, are worked on, are managed. Ranchers, foresters, stream managers, watershed partnerships, getting the kids away from the screens and out of the classroom and onto the landscape so they can be kind of part of the solution and understand how that whole side of things work. We've had over 2,000 participants since 2008, and we're looking to continue this program with funding. The current administration did cut funding for all of this within the last year. We've been able to claw some of it back. So any chance we get, we're trying to expand. Primarily started in Kohala, expanded to South Kohala, and now we're down in Kona even. Next slide. The third program that we're pretty well known for, and we took this over from the Hawaiʻi Sea Grant College program several years ago, is our Community Reef Talks program. This is a wonderful opportunity to meet some really high profile marine scientists and marine and coastal and coral conservationists. Sylvia Earles even made a presentation at a Reef Talk a number of years ago. But it's once a month in Kona. We've got a new partnership with Kona Brewing at their new brewing production facility just down from the brew pub. We use the Thirsty Gecko tasting room, and we've had a really good showing over the last several months that we've partnered with Kona Brew, and we're really happy to be in partnership with them. We have some real high profile folks, as I kind of mentioned, that come and provide a talk. It's usually about an hour, and then there's good talk story afterwards, and now you can even have a beer and a slice of pizza while you listen and afterwards. Next slide. And the fourth initiative that we've become pretty well known for very recently is the George A. Wilkins Scholarship. Last year, we offered $24,000 worth of scholarships to students around the Hawaiian Islands who are graduating from a high school here in Hawaii and are moving on to a STEM program, ideally focused on marine and coastal and coral and fisheries work. But we're really looking to foster STEM programming and keep these kids to be able to kind of come back and work here in Hawaii. Next slide. And so my last slide is just how can you contribute? Like you know, most nonprofits need unrestricted funds. We're really fortunate to be able to get grant funds for projects, but it doesn't pay for the administration of the organization. It doesn't pay for our administrative director and our education director. So any kind of funding that we can receive to offset that is really helpful to the organization. Advocate for things we do to the ledge, to local and island leadership. And of course, you know, come attend a Reef Talk. And if you've got a student who is in middle school, ask if they're, or know a student who's in middle school locally, ask if they're part of our Ridge to Reef program. And so a big thank you from all of us. I put our board and our staff here up on the screen, and I'm happy to answer any questions afterwards. Stick around after the meeting and just go to our website and check us out. We have all of our talks. Our Reef Talks are on our YouTube channel, and so you can go see all of the talks that have been in recent years there. And we've got a really good website that shows where all of the day use mooring buoys are across the state. With that, probably out of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris. Nancy and Riley are going to go around with the Hala basket. If anyone would like to contribute to Malama Kai's mission. Okay, now while you're all probably here tonight and we have such a high turnout, it's my honor and pleasure to introduce Mayor Kimo Alameda tonight. Since taking office as mayor, he has focused on strengthening county services, improving infrastructure, supporting housing and public safety initiatives, and maintaining open communication with residents throughout the island, like tonight. Tonight, Mayor Alameda is joined by several of his department heads to provide updates on important county projects, services, and ongoing initiatives affecting our communities. After their update, we will have a long session of Q&A, which was most important to Mayor Alameda. I'm grateful for that. We're thrilled to have you here with us. Thank you so much. We even arranged for Waimea's classic sideways rain to help welcome you. So probably not too much different from Hilo. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Alameda.
All right, yes, thank you. Well, thank you for the great introduction. It's good to be back to Waimea. Appreciate it. Different circumstances. I am now the mayor. The last time, well, actually, no, we did have a nice talk story when I was the mayor, and we did have a list of to-dos. And in fact, a week ago, I asked to review the video of that meeting, and so I kind of was doing the check off. Like, hey, we got that speed bump. Oh, monorail, we did that. backstop at the bar. Okay, yeah, we did the backstop, and some things we're still working on. But I'd like you guys to know that that video was important to us, and this talk story wasn't initiated by our administration, it was initiated by you folks. But I am having a follow-up island-wide community talk stories again, kind of like how we did last year. And so we'll be hitting up you guys in probably another 8 months, and that time I'll bring all 20 departments. And so, in fact, I'm telling the other communities, because now they're hearing that you guys hitting us up, so now they're like, hit me up, but we get over 26 communities, and we just cannot, be doing this for every single community. So I'm just saying, hey, if you guys can be patient, we're coming out in 6 to 8 months, in at least as far as a year, to meet with everybody again, but I want to make sure that whatever projects that you wanted us to work on, that we're working on, and some of them we've checked the boxes. So here we are. Yeah, it's been a tough 18 months. I can tell you that right off the bat. I didn't expect banyan trees to fall, buses to roll backwards, fires in like all over the place. I didn't expect, bridges to collapse, and there's so much. I didn't expect that head-on collisions that we're having on the DKI, and so that's all new to me and to our administration, but our response is not new. I mean, we respond as quickly as we can. DKI is a state highway. I've been working with the governor, and Ed was here, and so public safety again is our number one. And I work real good with the fire, police, civil defense. Animal control is our biggest challenge right now, because that's like public safety as well. And, so there are challenges that I find very difficult to move the needle, but we're not giving up on them. And so without further ado, I never invite all 20, because you guys had public safety, like, I don't know, maybe a month ago, and you had some of the other departments. So I wanted to invite the departments that you didn't have. So, but you can ask questions, whatever questions you get, and if we can answer it, we'll answer it. And if not, then we'll get back to you for sure. So I'd like to call up my managing director, Bill Berhante, right now to introduce everybody else. Bill. Hi. I gotta say, Bill's been a tremendous, as he walks up, support to our administration, his HR background, his attorney background, corp counsel, and so I'm very happy that Bill 158 died. Thank you, County Council, for making the right choice on that, because we don't want county manager and another level of bureaucracy interfering with our team chemistry. So thank you, everybody. Love you still, Heather, but we got this, okay? Thank you very much. Bill?
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to come to Waimea. It's like coming home. My mom's still up the road, so thank you for welcoming us here tonight. At this time, I know you're not here to listen to me speak, so at this time I'll call the department heads up that I know of that are here. We have Laura Casio from Oscar. You can come up. You guys can alternate one on each side per the mayor, so I know they'll do it. We have Kamiko Uehara from Water Supply. Then Shannon from Finance, but she's our real property manager for the county, correct? Okay, good, come on. Benson Medina is the Director for Research and Development. Perusing, we have Jeff Darrow from Planning. Hello.
This is, I thought you said like.
Yeah. There's supposed to ask if you can stay on this side. Deputy Police Chief Sherry Bird, please come up. We have Deputy Managing Director from Kona, Merrick Nishimoto. And I think that's about it. Am I missing county? If you're in the county and I forgot you, please stand up. Okay.
All right, that's our department, okay. Sure. Is this okay? So here we are, again, let me just share some background information. So I mean, we ran on several platforms, right? First was permitting. And so I gotta tell you, permitting, we're the fastest in the state. And if anybody get issues with their permits, I've always said, I put my number out there. You can call me directly, I don't care who you are, I don't know any preferences, we'll help you. And I got out in about, almost in a year and a half, we've been in it for a year and a half, I got about 3 calls. But my thing is always is, hey, if you're gonna call us, make sure it's our fault. Because if it's your fault, I'm gonna change my number, okay? And for the most part, you know, some of it, I'd say all 3 calls, 2 of them was our fault, the other one was the other person's fault. So what we try to do is educate the public on like, before you submit your application to Epic, here are some tips on how to do it, and that has worked remarkable. And I haven't received any more complaints about building permits. Thank you very much. Okay, the big clap, because there's that. The range of that. Oh, the range of issues, I think, right? Okay, and then of course, you know, our transparency was, I also ran on transparency, right? Like, hey, we're gonna let you know whatever's happening in government, like as much as possible. And so I started this Friday updates, and I haven't stopped. And it's been over, I don't know, you count the weeks from when we started, that's how much updates I've been giving. And it's just transparent updates. And so the department heads know that, hey, you know, you guys gotta share with me some tangible, touch, feel, see things that is happening in the community so I can share with the community. Because they gotta know that, you know, we're not just wasting their tax dollars. And so every Friday update, when I just kind of like randomly just picked an update, I was like, that's pretty impressive. You know, and the updates are so good. Our communications team, they have B-roll and even the news are asking for our updates, and they use some of it as well. So, and I try to kind of move them around, you know, like if there's a bus stop on Monterey Road that we erected, hey, we erected on bus stop in Waimea, you know, if we fix the backstop in your areas, we fix the backstop, you know, so and then you guys know that that's us. If it's not us, I'll say straight, that's not us, that's state. But I also give the state credit too. So Hamakua, we're at 7 dips from Hilo to, you know, and it was like the kind of cell phone flying in on, you're not even going fast. So, you know, we had a talk story with the state, and there was like, I said, this is a major issue. You can imagine an ambulance, you know, and so I gotta say, they did a great job. They fixed it immediately, and they continue to fix Hamakua. So now I said, hey, we gotta pivot and let's just focus on Saddle. Because you get all kinds of reasons why. Like some is speeding, but some is hydroplaning, and they're not even going over the speed limit. You know, and then probably need more signage. You know, we might need a passing lane. Of course, you know, how much does it cost for just put one cement barrier maybe in between? You know, like we just giving them all kind of suggestions. It's not our road, but we can suggest. Of course, police, they're up the ante on enforcement. I mean, even coming on the Hamakua side, I saw 3-4 cops. Saddle, you know, so we're doing that. Sheriffs might be even able to help us too. So it's a combination of changing human behavior. And we've had a couple PSAs out, myself, the chief of fire, police, prosecutor, you know, there's a strong PSA, over 60,000 views on Instagram, over 200,000 on Facebook. So we know people hearing us, but that's half the battle. You know, we also got to look at the conditions, the environmental conditions that we can also. So human behavior is half the battle. Environmental you know, fix the road, maybe check the topography. Why is water going over so quickly? And they're doing that as we speak. So yeah, you know, so we are continuously trying to figure out how to solve problems on the daily. And we're not perfect, and I'm certainly not perfect, but we try to get to everybody's requests as much as possible. I try to be as transparent as I can, and when even the Facebook, Instagram comments, I try to respond. And so far, you know, I can tell you that we're giving it our all. So I'm not embarrassed at one single bit of our team. They're super collaborative. We work well together. So with that being said, what I'll do is, you know, we get about all the way to 7, and then so, you know, what I have everybody do is kind of introduce themselves and then kind of the area of expertise. So maybe if you get a question, you know, they're probably directed to that person. So, Merrick.
Hello, Eric Musimoto, Deputy Managing Director based out of West Hawaii Civic Center. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Sherry Bird, Deputy Police Chief. My area of expertise is policing.
Aloha, everyone. My name is Jeff Darrow. I'm with the Planning Department. We deal with all of your land use applications. It can range from change of zones, special permits, use permits, and administrative permits like plan approval, subdivisions, and the like. Again, Bill Bronte. I'll just take the mic over. Managing Director. Good evening, Kodi Uehara, County of Hawaii Department of Water Supply, and our department owns and operates 23 public water systems across the island. Our South Kohala water system is one of the 23, which provides the drinking water needs of this Waimea community.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Benson Medina, the Director of Research and Economic Development for the county. So we're like a mini D-bed. So under us, we have tourism, we have workforce development, economic development, agriculture's under us, early childhood development. Angela Thomas, one of the foremost people in early childhood, sitting right there. We also have immigration is under us, and community well-being and the film commission. So if Netflix has been in your neighborhood filming, they've been here for a couple of months. I hope it's turned out to be a good thing. So anyway, thanks a lot.
Hello, everyone. Shannon Arkitolo. I'm the property manager for the County of Hawaii, out of Department of Finance. My area of expertise is managing the County of Hawaii's property, including the POM program. Thank you for having me today.
Aloha, good evening, Laura Ocasio, Administrator for Office of Sustainability, Climate Equity and Resilience. It's the newest office in the county, I believe just a little bit newer than animal control. And we have 5 program areas. They're still developing. We're taking them now from pilot to program. One is climate resilience, energy efficiency, reduced waste, youth engagement, which includes civic and IDA-based work. And the other one will come to me. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so of course, if you have a parks question, you know, Parks is not here, but we work with Parks. So Bill and I, we have a schedule of working with our department heads, right? So we kind of hold them accountable, right? So, but it's just a supervision. It's every month. We get in touch with them. We ask about their projects. We have a list of questions and requests, and then, you know, we get them prepared. So when they come to our supervision meetings, they're ready for answer. We have cabinet meetings once a month too, and I facilitate that, and very structured, and, you know, we go around, and again, we check in on every department. It's 2 hours, so, you know, we break up our departments into pods. So the first pod is the public safety pod, so that's fire, police, civil defense, prosecutor's office, animal control, liquor, you know, and then so sometimes it's just public safety or cabinet meetings. Sometimes it'll be more like support services. So we have departments that actually provide support to other departments. So like Oscar's is an example of that. She support other departments as well as the community. Finance, they support other departments, right? Corp counsel, HR. So very organized. Okay, and then we get the departments that is like building and infrastructure. So that's like planning. That's like Department of Water Supply, and Department of Environmental Management, Department of Public Works. Okay, so that, and then they kind of cluster together, and because, you know, what we want is a team that, you know, everybody can contribute, because some directors in one department can contribute in another department because they've done that, been there, done that. You know, so that's how we, I think, are able to be super effective, is that we're working across departments. One department helps the other. Public, it's not uncommon for Public Works to help Parks, and Parks to help Department of Environmental Management. You know, and so that kind of teamwork is super important. And that's why, you know, this form of government where you get the mayor accountable to you guys, and these guys gotta be answer to me because they're accountable to me, because I'm accountable to you, like that works. We're working so far. Okay, so what we'll do is, you know, so if you guys get like the building kind of question, you get Jeff's planning, but you also get Merrick. He oversees, he's engineer. He's our deputy managing director, and he oversees that department. And permitting is smooth, I gotta say, because Merrick is leading that. He's been there, he was the deputy for Public Works a while back. He knew where the hookahs was, and so as soon as he came in, we started to fix it. So how we're gonna do the question and answers is, I think we're gonna get I think Nancy said somebody that side and somebody this side, perfect. So if you guys remember how I facilitate, it's kind of organized, right? It's not like, hop, skip and jump and we end up in a hole. So what I'm gonna do is like, I'm gonna ask, so this side get to ask first, and then Nancy go, and then, right? And we go back and forth like that, so everybody get a chance to ask one question. And remember now, you gotta ask it, it's gonna question or a statement. Because most times when we do community forums, it's more like a statement. Kimo, huh? The last time you said this, I said, what's your question? I never have a question, so I'm gonna take it off. Oh, okay. So you like tell me off, you can wait till after the meeting. Bring it on, let's go. But as far as now, just like what is that like one? And a question is one that you don't even have the answer. Like to me, a genuine question is when you don't have the answer. Like you're really looking for an answer. That's one genuine question. Everything else is just not genuine. Either ask one side statement, little poke jab. So if we're gonna do questions, gotta be genuine. Okay, so we're gonna start with this. We're gonna start with this side, and then we can go. Let's go.
Okay, and I was telling Kimo, here in Waimea, we don't let go of the microphone. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
glad I get that.
We don't, so we will hold the microphone while you ask your question, okay? So don't try to grab it.
I guess this is about every department. I keep hearing stuff about the mini desalinization plants that they're trying to put together. That's one.
Yeah, so Bill and I we had an Asian trip, so we went to Taiwan, because we're trying to figure out two things. One, our wastewater problem, like Korea, like these island communities, Japan, Okinawa, Komijima, they live on an island, like, what they're doing with their wastewater. And so we learned a lot. And then we went to Komijima and they do desalinization. It's kind of like our Naha facility out in Kona. And so we really would like to explore that. I know water would love another resource because we get water problems, right? We know that, especially on the Kona side. So I don't know if I don't know, you're sort of not in your head. I feel like you have an answer, or you get some thoughts to that. Go.
So for our South Kohala water system, we rely on stream water that runs through our treatment plant up above the town, and we also have 2 groundwater wells. But we know on the dry side of the island, desalination for our island and the state is becoming something that the state is thinking about. So our department is a part of a task force with the State Commission on Water Resource Management to explore the treatments, the technologies, and the possibilities of desalination for the state.
Very good. I'm glad. Yeah, this side.
Maybe the, whoever answers can come here. Would that work? And then, does that work?
Yeah, good.
Try that.
That works.
Hi, Mayor. I'm from Kauai High.
Hello. I remember you.
Yeah. So I actually have a question for everybody, but my question is to you. We have a goat problem. So what's happening with the game management? Shit, I mean, that one is under you.
I know. So they meet in Kona. Yeah, so okay, the question about goats. Get goats, we get pig problem. I mean, this is all like the animal control question too, yeah? And so, where's our detective just got hired animal control? No, I mean, that's a huge issue, and I know we met a couple times. I don't know, Bill, if you'd like to help me with this one, because we did meet with DLNR, DHHL, because it's all on their property too. And there is some funding, so, but we just don't know where to start. I mean, the whole island it goes. Bill?
Animals, you don't call me, the guy from Waimea. That's good. Yes, it is a problem. It's an island-wide problem, with pigs in people's backyards, digging up their whole yards. You drive through Saddle Road, late at night, you don't know if any goat's gonna jump out in front of you. And that's a problem. It's happened to me twice. And so, we have these problems in our community. The mayor's absolutely correct. It comes under animal control, but we are partnering with DLNR. We've entered into a contract agreement. The county will be providing funds for DLNR to start a program And I guess they ran a program maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. And because of the lack of funding, the program had to stop. But we're gonna reinitiate that, going forward, working with the LNR. And it's gonna be eradication, and the like, trapping and stuff. So we're hoping, to start this year. I signed the contract maybe about a month or so ago, and we'll be going forward. So we hope to be able to see the results of that real soon. Oh, thanks. Thank you, man.
Thank you. And then, Joe, I mean, remember a while back, I think it was like maybe a little over a year ago. So Waikoloa had the goat issue too, and it was like, hey, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And so we had a community talk story, and so well, let's eat the goat. So then we had goat tacos. Because if we can develop a palate for goat, I don't eat goat, but because it kind of gave me out of smell, but I tried it. So, I mean, we'll be looking at those options too, but thank you for asking that question. There's like goat tacos, they sell at some place in Waikoloa. Nancy? Yeah. Go. On this side, yeah, with that. Right there.
In terms of water, this is the most waterfall island. There's waterfalls everywhere. Why can we not capture that water and use it? Because when it goes out to the ocean, then it's all muddy.
Yeah. So, one thing I've learned too when I started, and I'm gonna ask if you can come up too, is like even waste management, like that's a wrong term. This water recapture is something that is right now a hot topic for us. From turning wastewater into, R1 water where you could at least use for irrigation or, use for the farmers and then use the potable water only for the humans. So like we're having that discussion too. But we'd like to see what you can answer with that.
Yeah. I guess in short, in regard to that, the waterfalls and the course, the natural course that it follows, it's not nearby any of our water systems. So it's a natural course that we don't want to disturb or take from. So I guess just practically it doesn't fit into any of our water systems currently. Yeah, and we probably would not entertain using that as a water resource.
Right, but we are looking at all kinds of different ways. I mean, people always say like, the water runoff, like you can put them in like on reservoir or like on big tank and just try save them maybe. And yeah, I mean, those are, and when we play them out, how much cost and who gonna do them, and it gets kind of tricky. But it's not like we haven't had those discussions. So, in fact, I gotta tell you, can you share? So we're going to DC, Bill and I, and we're going. Brian Schatz and the congressional delegates, Tukuda and Case and Hiron, has asked us to name 3 top priorities because we had like 20. We sent one binder and it was like, give us your top 3. We picked water as our number 1. Can you share where exactly? So at least they know we're fighting for you guys in the tune of like $12 million. But go.
Yeah, I believe most of you might be aware that the Waimea town is fed by 2 streams. They go into 3 open reservoirs above Waimea town. So one of them, we're in the process of hardening, bringing it up to the current state standards. It's considered an above ground dam. So we need to harden it and upgrade it to the current standards. And so the funding request that we have to our federal delegation is for construction monies on the order of $10 to $12 million. So we're honored and we're happy that the mayor and his team are going to be advocating for that when they travel to visit our congressional delegation next week, I believe.
Yep.
So thank you for that.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, he didn't know. Sorry, I forgot to tell you, but yeah, our committee met, we voted, and you guys was number 1. Because water is life. I mean, I know I get parks, gyms, fields, beaches, but there's no more water.
Right, no more people.
Okay. All right. But I saw your hand go up, but we're gonna jump over here. Come back. Okay. Go ahead.
Aloha, Waimea. Those were my 2 questions actually, so I'll skip to my 3rd question. My first was why we are not capturing water. Sometimes when we have heavy rains, it's very poho, because we're not keeping that water. The second question was about our reservoir that's not up to standard and what the plan is for that. Everyone always asks that question, every meeting we go to. Okay, the 3rd question, this is my question.
Which one do you want?
This one. Yeah, I was providing context because it's such a layered topic, yeah. But I understand it's about the question. So from a DHHL perspective, we know that the water is collected and stored for Waimea on DHHL land. We are ranchers in Honokaʻia. My grandpa got the lease 18 years ago, right across from where you used to lease on Old Mamalahoa Highway. And it was done with a variance where my grandpa had to agree to take the Aina with no water. Here we are 18 years later, and I'm not just complaining, I'm really asking for a solution-oriented approach to this. My question is, since DHHL provides, in a sense, so much water to the greater community of Waimea, this is the question. What can the county do to help us as Kanaka, who are food producers in the community, who during COVID provided food to the community? So now we're talking about food, not just water. What can the county do to kokua us in lifting that variance? So this might be a water and a permitting question so that we can have equitable water access for all people in this community.
I love that. Definitely. I love how you posed it to the equitable. That's really good. Thank you. So yeah, Kavika, that's a good question. I get that's a good question. So yeah, I mean, I'm still learning too about like, you know, PHHL, the NR, like, and then kind of what, how we fit in and how we can influence them, and so cool.
So I believe I'm familiar with the situation you're talking about at Honokaʻia, and we want to work with DHHL as much as we can. We truly believe that they are one of our integral partners with the Department of Water Supply. This one, unfortunately, I think, as you probably know, it is in some sort of litigation. So I think there are also some concerns that Department of Homelands, the agency themselves, had to also fulfill on the water needs. So I guess it'd probably be best if you and I connect again after, because I think we've probably had discussions between our office and you or your family members on the access to water. But yes, we appreciate the coordination and collaboration we get with DHHL, because across the island, we try as much as possible where we can assist Hawaiian Homelands with their water needs. We'll do it as much as possible.
Yeah, so that's some talk story time if you can again. Yeah. It's a good question though. Thank you for that. Brother.
Well, I just wanted to touch on something that's kind of not similar to the District of Waimea, but more in the District of Ko. So in Ko, we have a water system called Mountain House, right? You probably aware of Mountain House that serves South Point Road and stuff like that. Then we have the Plantation Spring, which is a hidden jewel that nobody knows about. It's in the Hilea Apoa. Come out of that tunnel about 1,500 to 2,500 GPMs a minute. And then it drops down when it gets dry, maybe 500. So it's imperative, I think, for the administration to understand both the Waimea water system, the surface water that we have up here, and the surface water we have like in Kahu. We have to have monumental capital improvement to water distribution and storage. $12 million, with all due respect, is an embarrassment. We need $100 million to $200 million. The governor just gave $50 million to 501c3s last year. So we need to prioritize our water, distribution and storage systems. So Kahu, you cannot get water meters. Even Waimea, some places you cannot get water meters. So we're letting water spill on the ground. Hawaiian Homes South Point is like Hawaiian Homes Kauai High. So we're putting the Hawaiians in the places that are most desolate without the tool to be successful, which is water distribution for livestock production and food production. So the question in short is, what exactly is the budget for expanded water distribution and storage on a large scale? To coincide with, like, say, building permits that we're approving every time.
How we get revenues for water, and like what is the budget? I mean, we asking the feds for 12 million, he said that's nothing. I mean, we need 100 million, so. How about I just give you the mic, but go ahead.
I'll move the mic over there after. But that is a good question. So the question about how the Department of Water Supply generates their revenues and the funds, it is through our water customers, the rates that we assess to the delivery of water to our customers. We do have a 5 years capital improvement project list that averages collectively about $200 to $250 million, but that's spread across the whole island. And honestly, it's right at this point we're reinvesting our revenues into infrastructure replacement, some of the aged infrastructure to bring them up to, I guess, current. So that is part of our big push right now. I do hear and I recognize what you're mentioning about the Kahu area, because we also have had questions about water availability down South Point Road too. So that what you mentioned about that other water source, I wasn't aware of that. I know about Mountain House and Howell Spring, so.
So the,
that'd be good to
the
know.
plantation spring is something that the county needs to capture.
Yeah.
You need to take hold of that and manage it.
So kind of what I mentioned to one of the earlier questions, it kind of, when we look at source development, we also have to look at how it would fit into our current infrastructure, because if it's right next door to like an existing water tank, it's a lot easier to add it to our system. But if it's 5-6 miles down the road, then, you know, we have to add in that capital cost to bring in something new into our infrastructure.
Right. Your funding, it feel like, but that's a very good manao on that one. Thank you, brother. That's good. Oh, just like, oh, Mr. Hudson. Oh, what's up, brother? All right.
We started, it's been years now with the Hawaiʻi Festival. And we identified a spot in Kona. And I was just wondering if you was aware, working with R&D.
I wasn't, but Benson, are you aware? Okay, good. Benson, come, you like share a little bit what you were aware of?
Mike, do you mean that the Aloha Festival would go to Kona instead of Waimea?
Just one of the locations, because our festival is island-wide.
Yes.
So we kind of identified a place in Kona.
Okay.
That we could actually do one event.
Right. Okay, and because you're talking about working with Kumu Micah and all your guys group, yeah, okay.
He's our director.
Yeah, he's my cousin, but anyway, yeah.
My cousin.
Yeah, okay, so my cousins. Yeah, after we were kind okay, so he contacted with us a couple months ago. This is about the Kmart one, right?
Oh.
And so he came in and said, hey, I think we can really utilize Kmart as a central West Hawaii event center. So based on that, we went down there, we took a look, we connected with KLT, we walked the place, and yeah, 125,000 square feet. I mean, just the parking lot alone, the amount of events we could do there. So came back, talked to the mayor, talked to Bill, said, okay, what, shall we continue to pursue it? And he said, yeah, go. So we talked a little bit more. Actually, we're gonna walk the facility, Mayor, Bill and I, probably Merrick, at the end of the month. And so we see great potential in there, and the trust has been trying to rent that facility out. Some guys wanna do pickleball, water slide, whatever, but nobody has really the financial strength to take on a facility like that, because, you know, there was Kmart, the theaters went down, they closed down, they actually had a leak in the ceiling, so get stuff growing in the building, so that's what knocked down. And then it looks like Macy's is probably not gonna renew their lease. So now that entire area is open. Now, their long-term plan, the trust was to build affordable housing around that whole area. So their first thought was, let's build a commercial center there and then build housing around it. While the commercial center, it didn't stick. So they want something to happen there, and really the only guys on the horizon that have a chance of bringing something there viable is us, is the county. So we're working on it, and mahalo for Kumu Mike and all you guys for like bringing it to our attention, but it's on our radar. Thank you.
Yeah.
Got one here.
Thank you, thank you. Go.
You know, during the first Kona low, I helped staff the shelter here in Waimea. And on that Saturday night at 11 p.m., a family of 5 showed up. They got trapped. I won't give you the whole story, but the police sent them to the shelter, and they couldn't stay there. They were gonna have to stay in their car. I took them home with me. My question is, might there be a role for the county, maybe working with Bash to create some kind of a phone tree or some kind of a network or something? Because, you know, these people, I don't know where they were gonna go.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, if Talmadge was here, he would be jumping up and down, although he's not that animated like me, but. No, I mean, we are growing our network list, right? So, Vibrant Hawaii, Red Cross, Salvation Army, Dash. I mean, the more people we can have on this network, because we have a big island. Vibrant can only cover certain places. Even the Red Cross, they don't have the volunteers to cover every place. And so, no, we'll definitely welcome you folks. Please contact, give us your number, we'll connect you. And we've got a response recovery team that meets separate even. So when we get our briefing at the Emergency Operations Center, boom, boom, this is happening, all of a sudden, we have our emergency response team, more like on the social service side, housing, sometimes they just need gas, gotta wash their clothes, or about their pets, all like that, we have those discussions. And so far, I mean, it's another thing I never expect, earthquakes, tsunami warnings, right when I got elected. I mean, the hurricanes, the fires, the disasters, it's just too much, but we just get better and better at it. That's the good news out of the bad news.
Sorry, I meant to clarify, this is a family from like Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Can I speak to that?
Yeah. No, I got you. So come Benson, come again. So Benson's part of our visitor industry, like how we respond to them. And we also have strategies for that. Benson?
Yeah. Okay, that's a great question. So after the last Kona Low, we identified our visitor group is a group we're very much concerned about, because at any given day, there's 30 to 40,000 visitors on our island. Now, they're especially problematic during an event like this because typically they don't watch local news or listen to it. They're not really, on civil defense. They're not really looking at alerts. They're on vacation. They're like, hey, we spent all our money. We're going to go to the summit. We don't care if there's a whiteout, whatever, we're going. Right. So what we've been trying to do, because our department is in charge of the visitor industry. So what we're trying to do is put together a way in which we can get updates out to them, because even if they apply for the civil defense updates that said, okay, Highway 11 between mile marker 21 and 22 is closed. They have no idea where that is. In fact, they have no idea where they are. So one of the things that we're trying to do is put together basically an app, right? So when any visitor arrives, they hit this app, it downloads on their phone, and not only does it give them updates, but it allows us to know their location. So if we know that we look on wow, there's 5,000 people at the volcano and it's erupting, we know like, wow, we better send some services up there. So right now, civil defense is on Everbridge, right? The police have a level of that, the fire has a level of that, but I just found out from Talmadge that visitor industry can get a level of that if we want, because what visitors want to know is the airport's still open, what roads are still open, do I need to seek shelter, all of those kinds of things. And so they need to be handled very differently than our local residents, and thank you very much for reaching out to them and helping them, but they need a whole different level, because those are the guys that will typically get into trouble, and our first responders got to go with a helicopter and take them off the mountain, whatever. So, so we're very much concerned, and we're very much working on that, our island. So thank you very much.
Very good. Yeah, thank you. Very good. That's a good answer. Okay. Pastor Schmidt.
Yeah, this probably is a same question.
Okay.
So I don't know if Benson can answer it, because I know Benson. But the last tsunami warning we had, right? It was earlier part of this year.
Yeah.
Okay. My question was, we're having a Bible study at the Waimea. And we had a bunch of tourists that were asked to leave the Waikoloa hotels and go to higher ground. And they were not giving any instructions on emergency centers that they could go to. They just told them, leave the hotel and go to higher ground. Okay, and they ended up at Cherry Blossom Park. And so that night, we took in a bunch of tourists and housed them overnight and fed them and all of that. But my concern is the aloha.
Yeah.
That there was no aloha from the hotels to our visitors.
That's a true story. And not all, right, but you're right. So in Hilo, right, so Hilo Hawaiian was asking, hey, what is your protocol? So they're supposed to go up fourth floor. We don't tell them to just dig out because that's just adding traffic, for a tsunami warning. And Waimea, the calls that I got was, hey, I was siren to work for the tsunami warning. I was like, right, if you on siren for Waimea, we all in trouble. So, but that, at least a lot, that gave us information that we gotta fix our sirens, but yeah, I mean, Benson, and we have hotel industry folks that's in the crowd that could answer too, but, Benson, your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, yeah, but we will fix that fire.
Okay.
Okay, so the hotels have their safety and security people, they have their own association, it's called HISPA, right?
Yeah.
And so we meet with those guys regularly. And when we say, all right, when there's a tsunami, earthquake, whatever, we want to evacuate and here's the available shelters. Typically, and if there's any hotel people in here, you can, add to this, right? They will say, it's better for us to shelter in place so we can take care of our people. We have ballrooms, we can go up, we can feed them, we have food, we have all of that, as opposed to evacuating them. So when we check in with the hotel, tsunami coming, we said, okay, what is your status? They tell us we're sheltering in place. Okay, we check them off. And we go down all through the hotels and they all say, we would prefer that our guests stay with us because we have food, we have shelter. Because if they go to a shelter, like let's say they come up here to, Waimea, all it is a building. The door is open and that's it. There's nothing there unless the Red Cross comes or somebody manages shelter. So they choose actually to shelter in place. Now, they can't keep people there. People say, oh no, we're evacuating. We're gonna drive up Mauka and go somewhere. They're gonna end up at your church. So yeah, that's why we need an app like that, going back to it, because we saw all of that, all of those situations that are gonna compound. We don't have some way to communicate with our visitor industry. Okay, so thank you. Yeah.
We covered that in our last month's meeting, the emergency preparedness. There were a good 6 to 8 groups, churches and schools that took people in. And I know that everybody's working on this, right? So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump that side, and then you got cool.
Yeah, right here. And then I'll be right back to you.
Hi, first, thank you, all of you, for coming and talking to us here. My question's around waste management and specifically e-waste. I've been a tech support person in this community for 30 years now, and prior to the pandemic in 2020, we had a program where twice a year, whatever, they came up here and took our electronic waste. Not exactly sure, I think it went to California and then eventually to China. From the pandemic, funding stopped, people stopped interacting, and I am unaware of any revitalization of that. And my customers always ask me, what do I do with this stuff?
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that it's just getting thrown into the waste. We have a waste management issue to begin with. This just compounds it and really makes the problem really bad, not just now, but for future generations.
Oh, thank you for mentioning that, yeah. So we have a wastewater problem, but we also have a solid waste problem, yeah. So that dumping it in the landfill without proper disposal is a hazard. It's an environmental hazard. So we do have drop-offs. I just don't know where, and I think we've limited the drop-offs too, so.
I can answer that.
Yeah.
There's Mr. K's.
Yes, Mr. K's, yeah.
And it's free and it's easy.
Right.
The problem is people are lazy and they're not gonna remember or drive to Kona or Hilo to do it. So this simple program twice a year really took a lot of stuff out of the waste that we don't want there.
Let's do that. Yeah.
It's at Waikoloa once a
Waikoloa.
month now. He has the location.
We gotta get the word out then.
Yeah.
My next Friday shout out.
Saturday.
I like that.
That's our next.
So make note of that before we forget.
Where is it?
At Waikoloa Staples,
Okay.
right at your.
So what we'll do is we find all our e-waste drop-offs and then kind of, remind people about it. And then remind our landfill folks to, if they see people just throwing them away in the dumpster to stop them.
Yeah.
Good point. Thank you.
Hey, that's like, go ahead.
My son was here on the day of the tsunami and he was the recipient of nobody.
Oh.
He was turned away from the hotels And so, and he had a 6-month-old baby. So there's a program that you can put together where there's like a hotline, an 800 number. Because people coming in, I mean, I grew up on this island, so I was the operator. I contacted many of families, and one wonderful family came forward and said, we'll take your son and the baby. But having a young baby while traveling 7 hours, and then you get here and all of a sudden you're being turned away from a hotel and you end up in a building that is not set up for that. The 800 number, while you're messaging everybody about, emergency sites and everything, having that operator on that phone trying to help people with young children, that's a major concern.
Thank you for that. I wanted to ask Bill to come up because we've heard some very positive stories that I think we could build on, with the Waimea community actually extending their aloha in a very unique way. Bill,
Yes, that was definitely a problem. And, with the tsunami and everything. And Waimea was a place that, we really didn't anticipate needing to open a shelter at. Because, but now that, like the mayor said, as we go through these events and we get more and more, educated, we realize that Waimea is a key community area, because what happened with the hotels was they told everybody, you're correct, to go up Mauka. And, the road goes up the hill and it stops in Waimea. So a lot of people ended up here. And we were fortunate, the community was very receptive. Churches opened, as well as HPA. We got a phone call. We're at Civil Defense monitoring the situation, and HPA called and let us know that they're opening up their facility for people to go and, to seek respite. And that was something that, was really well received and was, spoke volumes for the type of, community you have here. Sure. The other thing we're working with, and I'm going to give a plug to Nancy Carr Smith, is she's been, the point person and a complete motivator with getting an emergency shelter, here in Waimea. And, she doesn't let us go a day without hearing from her about how important it is.
At least once a week.
So, we've been successful. We've, James Hustis has worked well with, and he's been real integral in that as well, with obtaining funding to have a community center at the park out here in Waimea by Parker Ranch Arena. So, we're hoping to secure additional funds, philanthropic funds from, private members of the community, as well as county funds have been already allocated to that as well. And, that's a project that the administration really supports going forward.
May I take an opportunity here?
Yes, go ahead.
I made a mistake last month when I told everyone that we'll be breaking ground this year. And Kimo was going, no, there's very slim chance that we'll break ground this year. It'll probably be more like next year. I'm hopeful about next year. Yeah, but anyway, so sorry about that.
No, I mean,
I get excited.
Yeah, I know.
Suddenly got some
I'm
state
excited
money.
too.
Yeah.
Because it's a phase, it's like phase 2, or, like there's phases of that one at District Park, and that was one of the phases, so.
But if anybody wants to donate private funds,
Oh, yeah.
let me know.
Yeah. We put in 3.5 mil, that was kind of the original ask, and then, because we thought the state was gonna drop 7, because we need 15 for that shelter and evacuations, and then they came 2 mil short, so then I was like, oh man, so now they said, oh no, we're gonna drop 5, county, you drop 5, and then you go ask the philanthropist for 5, that way. I was like, oh man, so got Nancy and I kind of like, whoa, God, where are gonna find 2.5 million, where are you gonna find another 2, so, but we're not giving up. It's already in our books. I mean, we want to see that Waimea Evacuation Center come to life and be part of that Waimea District Park. So we're fighting hard for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kimo, speaking about the evacuation center, I think about 4 or 5 will be in Waimea. But we partnered with Parker School and Waimea School. The overflow used to go to the Parker, the auditorium.
Okay.
And then if we had more than that, we go to the Summer Parker Gym. And or the home economics class.
So we just gotta revisit that protocol then.
Different principals, different headmasters,
So it's good that that we revisit what worked in the past and just go reestablish those memorandums of understanding so people get a place to go. And we'll mention to Talmadge as well. I didn't bring them because I thought you guys was hitting them up with all these questions the last time, but we'll take that back to Talmadge. Thank you. Oh, two more, okay.
You need to know some kind of, maybe a lighting system that identifies this is the evacuation center.
Or like one light, one blink or
Like
something.
blinking lights or, okay.
Okay.
And that's really, then you need maybe like a band radio. Or
Like ham radio.
Yeah, and that's a county supply, yeah.
Mm.
And then the last thing, remember when you were running,
Yes,
you used to Waikoloa,
yeah,
and I showed you an ideal area.
yeah.
At the resort, you get Waikoloa land,
Mhm.
you get the federal monies, county monies, at the local park, right next to the school. Perfect place. Evacuation center.
Right. We gotta work on Waimea's evacuation center first, but. Yeah.
She was saying no road.
Oh.
You get, you get in, communicate with the hotels. We don't want roads to go out.
Right.
How much build road in?
That could help. The hotels can chip in.
In and out, right?
I like when the hotels donate to the county.
So that's what it is, you gotta have,
Yeah.
you gotta team up with, other
True,
areas.
true. Okay. Thank you, Uncle Wally. I mean, I'm afraid. All the Laos in the house. Okay, jump into this side and then
I mean,
next time we get questions on the front. Yeah, go.
you mentioned that you had 3 priorities you're taking to DC. One was water. What are 2 and 3?
So right now, it's debatable. The second was Poco. So Poco has been working with us for, as soon as I got elected. They said, hey, what are we gonna do with our wastewater situation? We get affluent residents, they get money. The ones that live next to the ocean, but the ones that live across the ocean, there's plenty of locals, they don't more money. And they don't more 30, 40 grand just for a drop. So how can you help us? So they created like one model. It's like the 4 Ps, and they've been working at it for almost 2 years. They said the only way for help this wastewater situation on the Big Island is like everybody gotta help. So the public gotta help, county, state, feds, philanthropy gotta try to help us as well. And then the private homeowner gotta help us as well. So you get the public, the private, the philanthropist, and the private homeowner. So those 4 folks gotta contribute somehow, and the private homeowner, maybe through sewer fees. We haven't raised our sewer fees since, it was like $52 per month, something like that, for county. And every other county is like double than that, so I don't like say we're gonna raise sewer fees, but the thing is, we're already 12 million every year in debt, because our operational cost for wastewater has gone past the sewer fees. And we don't like raise sewer fees, but we also don't know where we're gonna get these funds for continue, so we're just asking the feds. But Poco is an example. If we can figure out Poco, because the coral reefs is only like 7% even, I think it's damaging, right? Kahalui corner is another one, Miloli is another one, Kyoka is another one. So like my focus on the whole wastewater thing is we'll take care of the coastline areas first. Then we will work our way up. Because Mauka, I think Earth to get some natural filtration, cesspool. So I'm not real like concerned about that too, but the main concern is we're killing our coral reefs, and a coral to me is a barometer for how healthy the ocean. And just like water is life, the ocean is life too. So thank you. Bill? Oh. What? Oh yeah. Oh, that was the second. The third request was the fire stations. Yeah, we need more fire stations. So Honokanian Fire Station, Kaunian Fire Station, and what is the other one? Central. And Central Hilonian Fire Station. Right now they're staying on temporary fire station. So we're gonna be asking for that too. Again, public safety, my priority. Okay.
Hi, I have a question.
Okay.
You were laughing about eating the goats, but with goats and pigs and chickens, probably we can leave out cats. There's a lot of people to feed.
Yeah.
There's one of the churches here in town that every Thursday makes food. Excuse me, volunteers help do all the work. A lot of people donate food, farmers donate excess produce, etc.
Yeah.
All those animals are meat for a lot of people who might like it, and there are homeless and there are Tesla drivers. It is not one kind of person or another.
No, you're right, and Waimea does an awesome job of looking at Mr. Hudson over there in food delivery. COVID, that was you guys were so unreal. You was like the model for the state on how you took care of your people with those food boxes. It was unreal, bro. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Oh, I can't have the mic.
Especially not you.
My hearing aids in. One of the things that's on your desk, and it seems to be in the council and all the rest, is a better system for the punk. Being a corporate town here and not a plantation town, all the plantation guys have figured out how to get hogs approved.
Yeah.
And up here, we only have 2 that are sitting on your desk. And it seems that is something that needs to be working better, because I think there's a backlog of like 30 of them or something like that that have been approved. Do you have some kind of a plan that's gonna help
Sure.
alleviate this situation?
Well, I gotta tell you right now, again, my platform was geographic equity, right? So Kona had a lot of pump properties already. So I said, hey, we gotta move to Waimea. Kohala had a few too. So I was like, well, where's Waimea's, right? So of course, Waimea Trails. I started working with Pucker Ranch on that. That's a big priority for us. And we're trying to get that. And we're right in the heart of finishing it, So, but I gotta tell you, our administration, again, year and a half, we've purchased 4 properties. Anaho Omalu Eastman, that was hundreds of acres. It's amazing that nobody gonna build over there ever again. In Kona, Banyans, that area right there, they were so happy. They was waiting for years for that. Then we jumped to Hilo, Kawainui, is another 18 something acres, and it's just like pristine land and kalo and native trees, and so we preserve that. And of course, Puna said, "Hey, Puna, what about us, man? We get plenty of cultural sites. We have all kind of cultural sites." So we just signed the agreement to purchase Honolulu Landing, which is another pristine place as well. So we're working and that's 4 in 18 months. That's double than what prior administrations has done in 8 years. And that's because we got a good team. And that's why I'd like to ask Shannon to come up and just share a little bit more about our program. Shannon, and then how we prioritize them too. So yeah, you're right, we get a lot on the list and we're working on.
Hi, everyone. Again, Shannon, we oversee the pump program. So I came on board December 1st. Ever since I've been on board, Mayor has been jamming with the pump properties. So we're excited to be acquiring these properties and preserving them in perpetuity. As you touched on, we're working on the Waimea Trails Increment 2. So thank you to our Parker Ranch folks who are working with us. We're at the stage where we're identifying the contractor to do the land survey, so we can identify the easement that we're working to acquire. And so that's gonna connect Kahawaii to transfer station. So that's something that's coming forward in Waimea. So excited about that. As far as prioritization, folks can make suggestions. There's a process for that. The suggestions get put together in the annual report, which we submit to the mayor. He reviews, and then it goes before council. Council has the opportunity, with support from the community, of course, to put forward a resolution for these properties. So once there's a resolution, it is open for administration to make the final decision if we're gonna move forward to acquire the property. So
That's pretty much it.
I have a question for when I think.
Kimo.
Yeah, so real quick, so then the decision rests with the mayor's office. And so I bring my team together. We have a open space kind of committee, and we talk about it. They rank the list, and it's number 1, but not necessarily we should choose, because get number 1s from 10 years ago. We gotta catch up. And then again, my administration, we just try to be fair to the whole island, and we try to work our way around. Yeah.
So it's 7 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
I know, it goes fast.
Rich, I don't know whether you want to allow us to stay another 10 minutes? Would that be okay? Would that be okay with you, Mayor?
No, at least 15.
But can I condition that? If we're gonna extend, when we're POW, we need to leave this room right away.
Yes.
You guys good with that?
Yes.
Okay.
And please know that if you guys not signing up for my Friday updates, please sign up, follow me. I do respond to my Instagram, Facebook comments. Sometimes it's any kind, not so flattering, but hey. But most of the time it's congratulations, thank you so much. And so, yeah, so if you get further questions, just hit me up. You can either Facebook, Instagram, or you can just call me, text me directly, 808-345-9280. I give my number, personal cell, to everybody on the island. So far, it's not a problem. When it becomes a problem, I change my phone, but I can handle 2-3 requests a day. Because it's better than you guys calling, trying to set up a meeting and waiting forever, when all you like is one simple answer. So, you know what I mean? So again, 808-345-9280.
Okay. Very great. Okay, here we go.
Thank you for letting me ask my question. Last year, the Waikolo community was excited and hopeful when our councilman, James Hustis, Mahalo James, put forward and passed 8-1, a $2.5 million amendment to the county budget to begin an engineering study on a second 2-lane arterial road. So another lane in and out of the village. Since then, $0 have been spent to start this study, despite the village experiencing continued exponential investment and population growth. Here's my question. Why has that money not been spent? And when is that going to change?
Yeah, so here's my answer. So we get almost $400 million that's in that same capital improvement budget. You guys is what, was 2 million or something? Yeah, so get 398 million of people wondering how come we never spend theirs one too. That is just an ask. It's a wish list. That's all that is, right? But it prioritizes it. It say, hey, that thing stay in the capital improvement, right? James put him in. He's like, hey, got to pay attention to him. Well, guess what? I got elected, right? I don't know whose road is that. Come to find out, it's not even the county's road, right? As private owners. So why I gonna use your tax dollar for private property owners? So what we can do is we can work with the state, and the state can chip in. So the state said they're gonna chip in $5 million for that, for one way out, right? So this is because Waikoloa, they're one of the luckiest communities. Okay, we get this siren. We fixed since I got started, right? The playground, they went on the playground, boom, done. The siren, boom, state fixed them. Okay, some roads sent out public works, they fix all the roads. Oh, we like one traffic light because we don't know when you come to Waikoloa Road, the 4, nobody know who for go when. I was like, oh, yeah, we go to traffic light, then boom, we put on traffic light, right? Then come a Nui, all boss up, we gotta make them nice. The park, me and Uncle Fred get down, told me exactly what to do, the irrigation, boom, boom, we fix them, you go there now. Hey, they got a nice park, they're playing soccer, skateboard park look good. Hey, what about our second row? If every community, because they get Keaukaha, Panieva, get Hawaiian Homelands, get plenty other communities, if they hit us up like how you hitting us up, but we get fire hazards one way in, one way out. The one way in, the biggest cul-de-sac is Puna. You're talking 50,000 people, not 7,000, 8,000. That's one way in, one way out. So again, I'm geographic equity. So that 2 million, that was one ask. There wasn't one promise. That was one ask. But what we're doing for good measure is we're getting the state to give you guys Waikoloa one second way out. By the way, that'll be the third way out. Because the first way out is the way you came in. Okay, second way out is Hulu. And we practice 3-4 times a year on how to get out of that. Third way out will become a Koanui. That's 3 way out. Because fire hazard, I got you. Okay, so we're working with the state on that. And as soon as we can get the property owners will be okay, because here's the deal. Prior administration will come to that agreement without even checking with the property owners. Right? So, hey, bless them, everything, take picture, double shocker. Well, I wasn't single shocker because I'm not double shocker. And they never even asked the 3 property owners that road will go through. So, of course, now we come in, we're like, Nobody on that. We didn't get no right of entry for go there. So we took a year to work with the property owners to at least get the right of entry so that we can go into their property and make nice. So we'll take about another week or so to finally get 3 of the property owners to say, okay, you can come in now. So once they say yes to that, now Goodfellows can go in and finish up that one way out. It's now on 4-lane highway where, it's an emergency access road. We'll get gates like Hulu. When the emergency comes, those gates gonna open. People who live upper Waikoloa, they can go that route. Lower on the village can go Hulu. Closer to the Waikoloa Road, go Waikoloa Road. That's our plan. So that's your answer to Mr. Chalker, because he asking the same questions. And so if he was here, I would share that with him, but you can share that with him on my behalf. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Hi there, Mayor. First, thank you for being here. Thank your team for being here. We really appreciate this kind of opportunity to be face to face. It's a comment on going back to the shelters thing, responding to what happened with initially the tsunami, but because we've been through Waimea Resilience Hub and really looking at response and emergency preparedness, we've started a hui of shelter people, and Oana is here. Oana, would you raise your hand? She's taken on the responsibility of coordinating all of the people in Waimea who are going to provide shelter and understanding what's available, what they can do, what their capacity is, but also the idea of this app for the visitors would be really helpful. What we found was the problem wasn't so much the hotels as it was the vacationers in condos and Airbnbs and that kind of thing, but they don't have that same kind of coordination.
That's a good point. Thank you for that. Benson, so not just hotels, it's vacation rentals and the whole nine, so.
Yeah, the orphan those guys.
You want to follow up on that?
Yeah.
I went to the HCA meeting when they came down here with the interim president. They went to Kona and then to Hilo. I really wanted to get funding where they could fund having all of the information on where to go for emergencies on the plane before they get here. And also having it mandatory in the hotel rooms, right? So that way everybody who has an STR, who has a hotel and whatnot, would have that QR code we're all talking about. That's the accessibility we have for each of our visitor industry. So that's it.
That's perfect.
And another thing too, the inventory is like really not existing for our shelters here at all. And that would be something we'd need help with as well. And then, and also finishing, right, District 9's emergency, right? I see
Yes.
that's gonna be happening, so that's great. And renovation of Waimea Community Center also.
Yes, it's
So
on.
if the winds hit that jealousy and it cracks on our people when they're sitting
Yeah.
in there.
The roof is leaking. So, yeah, we're gonna fix that. It's on the list now. Very good. Decide, or how you go? Hey, Julia.
For people who haven't asked the question yet.
No.
Oh, you want to enter?
Yeah, I just, no more, I just want to give her the mic.
Oh, go, Julia.
Aloha, Mayor. I wanted to let you know that in Waikoloa, our principal of the school opened up the school during this
That's right.
tsunami. We had 480 people.
Yeah.
I was there till 12:30 in the morning. More than I think Waimea
Yeah, I
had.
saw that.
And maybe they should consider working on, and
Exactly.
Chris, to get the Poolco people and the other people up
Up to
if they
them.
need to, right? So
That's
it's
perfect.
One of those roads. And the third thing is, I have a question for Mr. Darrow.
Okay.
Mr. Darrow, why was Waikoloa named the third urban place on the Big Island?
Come on, Jeff. Can I come a free ride to Waimea? You gotta come up here.
I think that's a water question. I honestly have no idea what you're referring to. We have urban centers all over the island. So this is named the question was.
The question was, it's on the state's map, it's on the county map. I brought it up in a CDP meeting a year and a half ago up here in Waimea. And talked to your planners. I can't remember who it was at the meeting, and I showed her. And I said, can you tell me why Waikoloa is designated urban with Hilo, Kona, and Waikoloa, the only three places on the Big Island?
Yeah, there's a lot of other areas designated urban, but
Waikoloa is, quite large in respect to the other areas that we see. What, it does rank up there with Hilo and Kona. It's, pretty, one of the largest, residential subdivisions on the island.
We look forward to getting a community center too.
While we have Jeff, can I ask about
Wait, your community center, gotta come after the library.
the newly approved general plan? It was just voted
Oh.
on and approved yesterday.
What's the question?
What is, I
Status.
wondered what the planning director
I think
is
that,
happy about, how's it gonna affect all of us?
That's a big question.
Well, make it small.
Okay, well, I mean, we've been working on this plan for over 10 years. It's not a planning department plan, as I've mentioned many times through our public hearings. This is a plan that is a plan for the people. It is a plan that we went through a tremendous amount of public input to get input from not only all of the different public areas around the island, but also from all the different government agencies, from all the different groups that there are. And we took all of that information and were able to put it within our plan. It was a rough road getting through, but it did pass. We're very grateful for that. As mentioned through our more recent hearings, no plan is perfect. There is some minor adjustments that we need to work on with maps as well as some of the wording. And we're already working on that with staff, planning on meeting with the council members as well as the mayor and bring that forward shortly. But very happy to have gone through that and be able to look forward to the future, working on other things. Thank you, Nancy.
Thanks, Jeff. There's a phone here that was over by the water cooler. Oh, that's your
so I
slogan.
gotta add to that, because I was.
We get 2 minutes.
Yeah, here we go. Because I was one of the dissenters to the general plan. I thought it was too prescriptive. I thought it had too much goals, like over ambitious. You know, my whole thing was like, that thing is just general. It shouldn't be all like, you know, all these goals, like we're setting ourselves up for fail if it's the case. And I was kind of concerned about the 2045, like that's 20 years out. So I was like, hey, you gotta amend that. It gotta be like 10 years out, because 20 years out, but we know the world changed so fast. How can you wait another 20 years? So I have some concerns. I do have an opportunity to veto it, right? Then it will go back to the council and everything. But I'd like to, at this point, I'll make it public. I'd like to see what we can work with, because they definitely gotta have amendments. I don't like the word shall, because then you're locking us into something we don't even know we can, you know what I mean? So the verbiage, I get problems. It's heavy climate change, which I know get climate issues, you know, sea level rise, hotter, you know, areas, and like, that's no joke. But you gotta use language that the current administration the federal government can deal with. So instead of sea level rise, I say coastal flooding, right? Instead of climate change, I say extreme weather, right? Because Trump not going to fund anything that is close to the verbiage that he don't want to hear. So unlike when general planning, we ask him for funding, and his insiders looking at the plan and they said, "Wow, some blue state, y'all into this action. You ain't getting nothing." You know what I mean? So you gotta put it. That's why it's good that there is a mayor, right? Somebody who's objective, can look at all the big island at once and be able to negotiate his politics. Because funding will make it happen. No funding, zero. Hey, that's the end of tonight, you guys. I can answer the questions after this. Please be safe. Keep on and always the double shot. Thank you, Lord. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.